This is Armed American Radio's Daily Defense.
Armed American Radio's Daily Defense. Because they don't want me to, that's why I do it.
Presented by the National Rifle Association. From the CZ Studios.
They're never going to stop us here.
Here is your host, the loudest conservative voice in America fighting the enemies of freedom, Mark Walters.
Yes, I take a sip of that apple juice right before we go on the air because I do that every day. Greg in Dallas, Texas, how you doing today, brother?
Now, here we are. It's Wednesday, top of the hill.
Top of the hill. Oh, It is Wednesday. Yeah, it's garbage day at the ranch. I didn't even think about that.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Bada boom. But you sounded really thrilled with that. Hey, guys, you got Corvette hair today. Don't care. Convertible hair. Don't care. It was a beautiful day today. So
that's nice, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was out and about all day today. I went and had breakfast at a little local dive. You know, that got... nobody in my family will go with me to this breakfast place. I'm not going to name the name. It almost came out, but they got health department 50 ratings a couple times. And everybody in my family was like, I'm not going to eat there. They get 50 ratings. They got a 5-star Yelp review, best breakfast in town. The worse the rating, the cleaner that place gets. So I love going in there for breakfast. So I did that today, had the top down, and it was just beautiful and chilly out. And now I sit here in my long sleeve Hog's Breath t-shirt that I picked up in the Keys a couple weeks ago. And now it's hotter than, as AAR Hawkins would say, it's hotter than fish grease out there right now. So this time of year, it is what it is. CZ Studios are fired up for you guys. Patriot Mobile mic lit up for you. It's all being brought to you by the National Rifle Association. Greg in Dallas, we are live on Facebook.com/Armed American Radio. Should you choose to watch us over there or listen to us over there, you can do that. And I'll let you do your spiel, and then we'll get started. We have some fun stuff to cover today. Pretty provocative stuff. It's going to be an interesting conversation. So stick around with us and welcome in on the other platforms. Greg, take it away.
Sure, other places to watch the show are going to be YouTube and Rumble. Just do a search for Armed American Radio with Mark Walters. Over at X, we're at AAR Mark. You can head over to armedamericanradio.org or .com, hit that menu icon, then select your watch live or listen live option. And lastly, to join our live chat, just download Telegram, create your profile, and search for Armed American Radio Conversations.
St. Paul introducing gun control ordinance. The St. Paul City Council on Wednesday will introduce a gun violence prevention ordinance that bans most possession of assault weapons and makes ghost guns illegal. The ordinance is largely symbolic because Minnesota state law prevents municipal gun restrictions. Greg, will the left ever stop, man?
No, it just shows how infected we are, and I hope people are paying attention and writing names down of who to vote against when time comes.
I'm choking over here. Let me read that again. I laughed when I saw that. The St. Paul City Council on Wednesday will introduce a gun violence prevention ordinance that bans most possession of assault weapons and makes ghost guns illegal. The ordinance. Picture the drug commercial, right, with the side effects. The guy at the end of the drug thing.
Yeah.
Use this for this. It'll clear up all your stuff. The ordinance is largely symbolic because Minnesota state law prevents municipal gun restrictions.
There you go. That's it.
Good heavens. Is it ever going to stop? The answer to that question is no. It's never going to stop. Let's move over to Everytown for gun safety. The clowns at this place. Yesterday we talked about Glock, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a fascinating conversation. We'll probably touch on that a little bit today, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. There's more information coming out on that. And that story's going to be around for a long time. It's not going anywhere, guys. In this biz, we refer to that at this point as evergreen because you can talk about it pretty much whatever you want. It's not going to go away. It's not going to get old. But I put up on Facebook today a little reel from a clip from yesterday's show. And I attached to it a statement from Everytown for gun safety that they put out on Twitter. These guys they're just jokers. Let me go back to the St. Paul, Minnesota. St. Paul City Council on Wednesday will introduce a gun violence prevention ordinance that bans most possession of assault weapons and makes ghost guns illegal. The ordinance is largely symbolic because the Minnesota state law prevents municipal gun restrictions. In other words, they can't do it, but they do it anyway, right?
Basically, it's just for show.
Thumbing your nose at state law. That's what Democrats do. Everytown. Take a listen to what Everytown had to say about Glock. If true, this will be the product of years of advocacy, lawsuits, and legislation. including, excuse me, Governor Newsom signing the nation's first ban on selling guns that can easily be converted into machine guns with Glock switches just last week. The clock ticks for Glock. Okay. The clock ticks for Glock. What do you think they were referring to there? What's their sole goal? We're going to put them out of business. We're going to end Glock. Do you really believe that every town for gun safety is going to be responsible for ending Glock? Don't know, not them, right? But the product of years of advocacy, lawsuits, and legislation. What have we been saying for years? What has Gottlieb been telling us for years on this show? What's their goal? Bury the firearms industry through years of advocacy. That doesn't really matter much because we out-advocacy them for the most part because we clean their clocks in court. But lawsuits and legislation. What's with the lawsuits? They wind up losing the vast majority of those suits. Supreme Court's taken another Second Amendment case, that being weed and guns. And they're going to wind up with an assault weapons ban case here soon, too, guys. Hopefully they take it this session. I say assault weapons ban because that's the way that's just the way the media puts it out, so we'll say it. As much as I hate to do that. And we're going to win all three of those cases, Greg. We're going to win every one of them. Now, do we win the marijuana case? Can you win that? I guess
it depends on what side you're on.
I guess if you smoke a lot of weed, right, you win it. But I don't look at that as a win. That's just like you said. It doesn't really. If you smoke weed, you smoke weed. If you don't, you don't. I've just been telling you, if you smoke weed and you answer the 4473, I think it's question 21B. In the affirmative, well, you're not going to buy your gun. If you answer it in the negative, meaning no, you don't smoke weed, then you're lying on a federal form. So we need to get that changed. So the court's going to weigh in on that. And yeah, it will be a victory if you smoke weed. I don't smoke weed, but it's still a victory because more people get their rights back and get their rights restored. Medical marijuana users, etc. And then go ahead.
I was going to say that's going to affect a lot of veterans. I realize you may not know. You may not know a lot of people that are vets that smoke weed, but I do.
I do. I definitely do.
And this is the community that everybody likes to throw up front as the ones that we look to and put up on a pedestal or the ones that are victimized the most when laws are passed in order to counteract the passing of the law. So, okay, these guys these individuals are in this class and they advocate for the smoking marijuana and they also advocate for the Second Amendment. And are we going to indulge in what they're advocating for and what a large portion of the population also advocates for? Or are we going to have legislators that have deaf ears to the people that they're supposed to be representing and not going to take them seriously? We have this problem in Texas as well. And they're not going to take them seriously, and they're just going to pass the legislation that Big Alcohol wants them to pass and continue to arrest people for what is considered... Alcohol. Yeah, which is considered to a lot of people. I'm talking millions on millions on millions on millions of people in this country is not as big of a harm to society as alcohol is.
You know, this has been an ongoing debate for years and years and years. It really has.
Since 1937.
A lot of states have legalized it. Again, I don't want to spend a lot of time on the marijuana issue, but when you bring it up, you kind of got to when we bring it up because the court is taking the case.
Yep.
So it's going to be fun to watch this unfold. Now, I could say I won't, but I could easily say it's not going to matter to me because I don't smoke weed.
Fair enough.
Right? But it does matter to me because lots of people do. Let's take alcohol. There was a time in my life I really liked alcohol.
I think we all did.
Well, I mean, you go back to your college days and stuff like that. Irresponsible kid, right?
Yeah.
And you overindulge.
Indestructible.
Everybody's immortal at that age, right?
Yep.
At least you think. But as a responsible adult, we had the bar conversation a couple weeks ago, right? I've been in bars carrying a gun and had a drink, maybe two. over the course of X amount of time. But if I'm going out to a bachelor party where my goal is to get hammered with the boys, I'm not carrying a gun with me. That's called being a responsible adult. We're getting ready to take a break. We'll come back and revisit this after the break. Yeah, because it is a fascinating conversation, and the Supreme Court is taking it up. And we've got a lot of different directions, so hang with us today. We're going to move around quite a bit throughout the day today. We have some fun. So we're even going to talk about Civil War. Wait till you see this. Wow. Well, hear this because you're on the radio.
Funny.
I can't hold it up to you if you're watching on camera, but you'll have to trust me. It's not going to blow your mind, but it is, but it's not, but it is, but it's not, but you already get it because you know what they do, so it really won't, but it will, and it's fun to talk about. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
following segment of Armed American Radio's Daily Defense is being brought to you by Patriot Mobile. Visit patriotmobile.com/AAR and use the AAR promo code to get free activation today. Welcome back to the show.
Patriot Mobile, activated phone right here. I'm holding up in front of the camera. PatriotMobile.com, PatriotMobile.com, PatriotMobile.com/AAR. Take advantage of the free month and support a business that supports your favorite radio program and supports your right to bear arms, that shows up at events, conventions, gun shows, and puts their money where their mouth is and their phones are, okay? That's Patriot Mobile. Nobody does it better. They support this show. They support you. They support everything you believe in, your lifestyle, everything. And they wear it right on their sleeve. Visit PatriotMobile.com for more information. Make sure to check them out. Use the AAR promo code and move a phone over. Just do one. Not going to hurt you. And you're going to realize, man, this is better service than I had before. I get a free month, and they gave me a $500 credit because I paid my phone off. So I'm not going to have a phone bill for a couple months. Let me move the rest of the family's phones over. Let me move my business over. That's how it works. PatriotMobile.com/AAR. And you can find them and all of our great partners at ArmedAmericanRadio.com. Welcome back to the CZ Studios. On-air light is flashing. Patriot Mobile booth and microphone fired up. And it's all brought to you by the National Rifle Association every day. Back to booze. So here's where this comes down. As I was saying before, I could easily comment. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care what the court does because I don't smoke pot. That's like saying I don't care what happens in California because I don't live there, Greg.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens in Minnesota. We're going to go there in a minute, too, because I don't live there. I don't care what happens in Jersey because I don't live there, New York because I don't live there and never would for lots of different reasons. I don't like the politics, period. Don't want to live there. But it does matter to me because they're exporting this stuff all over the place. See AOC. See Mamdani. See the violent rhetoric from the left. We're going to go there, too. I have a fun story to tell you about that with the Civil War thing I was mentioning in the previous segment. But yeah, it's one of these deals where if you want to smoke weed in your house, I don't care, man. Have at it. Have at it. And you can still be a gun owner. I would trust that as a responsible adult, you're not going to go home, get baked, get in your car, and drive to the range. Just like you wouldn't do that if you went to, you're not going to go hit a bar and then go to the range. How about going to the range and then hit a bar? Isn't that what most responsible gun owners do if that's what they want to do?
Yeah.
Scottsdale Gun Club comes to mind. Love that place. Love that place and love the people that run it, have for many, many, many years. They have a platinum deal in there. I think it's called a platinum deal. But they've got, it's like a country club, gun range. There's alcohol in there, but you have to go through a certain door that you can't get back in. Look, it's just called being a responsible citizen. That's all. So I have no problem with it. I can't wait to see what the court does with it. I as I said the other day, I have no idea how they're going to rule on this.
I think since Trump has hinted at reclassifying this from a
Schedule 1 narcotic, yes.
Yep, Schedule 1, reclassifying it so that I think he's doing this also so that people that are in the industry in the states where it's legal, they can get banking. Because currently they cannot get banking, considering on the federal level it's still a regulated substance. So I think that's what he's thinking of also as well. I know Trump doesn't do drugs. He doesn't advocate to do drugs. But I think there's probably a little bit of culture that his sons have employed to him saying, look, a lot of people in this country already indulge in this, and there's already a market for it. Regardless of how illegal it currently is in whatever state or jurisdiction, there's still a market for it. This is an opportunity for us to kind of change things in this country to where there's not so many people going to jail for such a minor thing, and there's also an option here for people that use it as treatment medicinally. They'll be able to use it that way. That's going to affect veterans and cancer patients and a lot of other people, and this will be a big win for you as well.
And just stoners that like to get baked.
Yeah, sure.
There's that. You can do what that's a libertarian in me, okay?
Yeah, I mean,
look, if that's what you want to do, have at it. I have no problem with that. It doesn't matter. Just something I never participated in. It's interesting. Just a personal note. I remember when I lived in Ann Arbor, Michigan years ago when I was a kid. Weed was legal in Ann Arbor, Michigan when I was a kid. They used to have, and I think they still do, every April 1st in Ann Arbor on the Diag at the University of Michigan campus was the Hash Bash.
April 1st, really?
April 1st was the Hash Bash in Ann Arbor, Michigan for years and years and years. Every year
This
I
sounds
lived
like a gag to me.
No, it's true. I'm not kidding. It's called the Hash
On
Bash.
April 1st?
April 1st, the Hash Bash. I kid you
You're
not.
pulling
Look it up.
somebody's leg.
No, I'm not. I swear, I'm not. Look it up. The Hash Bash, every April 1st, Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan. Now, there's people out there now listening to me yelling at you right now, go, no, dude, he's right. He's right.
I'm going to Google. Calm down, everybody.
Go to Google. But pot had been decriminalized in Ann Arbor, Michigan years ago. I think anything under an ounce, there were people, kids, students walking around. I'm going to date myself now. It was back in the 70s. You know, lots of old leftover 60s hippies walking around with the bell bottoms, you know, and the long hair and all that nonsense. And it was just the style at the time, I guess. But yeah.
Yep, University of Michigan
See,
campus.
You doubt you. I'm on the radio for a living. You think I'm going to lie to my audience? You think I'm going to do that?
Trust me, I've
How
seen other
dare
radio.
you? You question me live microphone. I love. No, I'm glad you did that. But it's
I've
true.
never heard of this, actually.
In Ann Arbor, I remember they used to have. Sometimes they would put a photograph of a license plate from all 48 states because that attended this thing. Oh, thousands of people would show up every April 1st. They'd all sit around the diag, and it was just a giant cloud of smoke.
1972, April 1st.
Yeah, and I used to go to the Michigan games on the weekends when I was a kid. 101,701 was the stadium capacity at the time. Big sign out front, I'll never forget it. And the students section tickets were cheap. So my dad and I would sit up like on the 90th row up there in the end zone. All you could smell was weed. And I like the smell of weed. I think it smells good. So, you know, that's just me. I just never smoked it. I tried it one time when I was a kid. I hated it, and I never touched it again. That's
You didn't
me
go back
personally.
for the second time.
What's that?
You didn't go back for the second time.
No, I actually was sitting in a chair with a bunch of kids who said I was turning green, and I remember a bunch of people looking at me, and I'm like, I don't like this, and I'm paranoid, and I hate this. I was 13 years old, and I never touched it again. I'm just being honest with you. But a lot of people do, and that's fine. That's fine. You should not have your Second Amendment rights taken away from you because I would expect as a responsible citizen that you would act responsibly. You know, alcohol kills more people in this country. Let's be real. Let's get real. From health problems to drunk driving to, you know, alcohol is the root of most evils. And when you talk about domestic, you can tie alcohol back to just about everything, brother. You know, they say nothing good happens after midnight.
Yep.
Most of that no good stuff involves alcohol.
Yeah, a lot of times.
And gang banging. Anyway, so I have absolutely no idea. I would suspect if I was forced to guess, I think the Supreme Court will look at I don't know, what is it, 35 states, 36 states already or something like that have
Something like that. It's quite a few.
have done something with weed, technically in violation of federal law. Well, not technically, it is in violation of federal law because it's still against federal law.
We even have provisions here in this state, and I think our governor may actually regulate instead of prohibit in the state going forward. I think that's possibly in the future here.
And you're talking about super conservative Abbott.
Correct.
So that says a lot. Okay? That says a lot. Just being down in Key West, you walk by the cannabis shops down there.
Oh,
You can smell the weed when you're walking by. It's interesting.
I guess I didn't know Florida was that way.
Yeah, well, I don't know exactly what. I think it's medical. Well, let's face it. Everybody gets medical marijuana cards. That's just how they do it, right? That's just what they do. I think they hand them out like, well, weed.
Handy.
Like gummies. Right? We'll be right back. Don't go away. That was funny, guys. Greg doubted me on the hash bash deal. I wouldn't bullshit you there, bro.
Yeah, no, I did not know that Michigan was doing that kind of stuff
That
up
was
there.
back in the 70s, Holmes.
Yeah, 72 is when they said the first one.
Yeah. And that was, I left there in 76. It was a big deal. Are they still doing it? I haven't looked in years. I'm going to guess.
It said it only listed a few more afterwards. It didn't say it ended, so I didn't see anything for current day.
You know, my senior year in high school.
I'm sure they probably are in some form.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, my senior year in high school in Simsbury, Connecticut, the East parking lot, you could smoke in the East parking lot. Kids and teachers would go out. Teachers, my history teacher, Mr. Hallis, would bum a cigarette from me on the East parking lot in between classes, you know. Those were the days. What a whole different life that was back then. And but there were kids sitting around, you know, the leftover hippies, sitting around cross-legged, you know, crisscross in a group of four, passing joints and bongs around during the breaks and during lunch and stuff. No, that was in Connecticut. Late 70s. Nobody seemed to care. But there were a lot of deadheads up there, and I never did like the Grateful Dead. So if you're listening and you're a deadhead, I do apologize in advance.
It looks like they're planning one for 2026.
They always
April
do.
4th.
Close enough. Probably because it's a weekend, right?
I'm not sure. Yeah, Saturday. Yep. The first must be midweek.
Yep. That was a huge deal. And at that time, Bob Seger was a local rocker who graduated Pioneer High School. All he did was play. We knew him long before you did, ladies and gentlemen. Unless you lived in Ann Arbor, he was just a local band. He was my first concert. I saw him at Yost Fieldhouse with a band called Stars that opened up for him. And he was just a young kid at the time, 20s. And he didn't make it real big until the Night Moves album came up, but we were listening to him for years prior to that. A lot of fun days.
The following segment of Armed American Radio is proudly being brought to you by the National Rifle Association. Help us defend freedom by visiting nra.org/AAR and join today. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, you can do that, and I hope you do. I have the range bag sitting here. I can't show it on camera because it's full and it's kind of heavy. I have a lot of stuff in it, which is a good point to make to you, by the way. It's real compact. You can roll it up, fold it up, but we're going to send you the range bag. It's $35 for 1 year membership to join the National Rifle Association. $85 for 3 years, I think $1.25 for 5 years, and $1,000 for a life membership. And that's discounted because of the AAR promo code. So please take advantage of that and join the National Rifle Association, or please reconsider joining the National Rifle rejoining the National Rifle Association. We need you here. When you hear those statements we were talking about from Everytown for gun safety, all those goobers and clowns over there, what's going on in Minnesota? Yeah, it's a violation of state law, whatever. Let's just do it anyway. Supreme Court said, what in Bruin? Pfft, thumb your nose at it. It's the National Rifle Association working hand in hand with every single pro-gun organization out there now, including your state's gun rights groups. They've got work to do, a lot of work to do, but they need you to help do it. So just get in the pool with us. The water's warm. Join. It's $35. We'll send you a free range bag. There's your $35 right there. Okay? And by using the NRA promo code, just visiting nra.org/AAR, you see a beautiful website there they've got hooked up for us, and you support Armed American Radio in the process. It is a win-win-win-win-win all the way around. So please join us or rejoin us at the National Rifle Association, won't you? nra.org/AAR. Welcome back to the CZ Studios. Mark Walters in front of the Patriot Mobile mic here at the Command Center. And it's all being brought to you by the NRA and all of our great partners. Bud's Gun Shop, Goat Guns. Greg, I told you I got those like 9 Goat Guns in that box.
Yeah.
Whew, I haven't gotten to those yet.
Oh, wow.
Well, you know what's going to happen when I do. I'm going to be building goat guns for the next hour and just loving every bit. My son will come. It's a great thing to do. It really is addicting. Maybe tomorrow I'll show some of them because I redid the studio and I have a bunch of them in here. Maybe I'll show them on camera tomorrow. They're really fun. And I have to agree with you. The RPG is the coolest one I have.
It's the best one of all of them.
That and the Barrett 50
Yep.
is pretty bomb too.
Yeah.
Did I just say pretty bomb too?
You
Did I
did.
say pretty bomb? I don't know what that means. I have no idea where that came from. But anyway, All right, so the weed thing, I have no idea. If I have to guess, I'll close it out with this. I think because there are 30-plus states out there, probably more, I think the Supreme Court's going to come down on the way down on the side if I have to. Only if I had to put a guess down. I would say there's going to be a lot of happy weed smokers out there.
Yeah, I would like to lean that way also, but I also kind of feel like that they may put this one off. It may be one that they decide to push.
They can't. They've already accepted.
really?
They've accepted the case. It's not going to conference, brother. Don't misunderstand me here. They've taken the case,
Okay.
so it's a done deal. We're gonna have an answer in June. Okay.
Well, that's a good ways away.
Maybe we'll get an answer on 420. I can't believe you knew 420. I have kids, right?
Maybe there'll be foreshadowing on 420.
Maybe. You never know. That would be interesting. I know the cases don't come out that early, but maybe. You can get a decision at any time from the Supreme Court. They pretty much do whatever the heck they want to do.
Don't they basically rule throughout the year as they decide, and then typically the ones
let them
that
out? The biggest ones they'll hold off until the end.
Yep.
Like, for example, if they take an assault weapons ban case this term, which I hope they do, if they don't, they will definitely take one next term. That'll probably be the last one, just like they did with the Dobbs decision, just like they did with Bruin, just like they did with Heller, just like they did with the McDonald decision in Chicago. When it comes to these huge cases like that, they generally let you hang, and that's going to be the last one released. So I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think the weed one will go that distance. I think, when they rule, they rule. And what'll be really interesting, see how the liberals rule on that.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how they react, and that could
be a 9-0 decision? Is that where you're going to go?
No, I was going to say that could even happen by Christmas time, just for those that are looking forward to it.
Yeah, this could be a 9-0 decision.
I could see that.
I could see. Obviously, the liberals. I don't know. Alito and Thomas might be a little bit more conservative than that, but I can absolutely see Barrett, Kavanaugh, and Roberts.
I'm
ruling.
sure
It could be a 7-2 or 9-0 decision. So let's take a bet. Let's watch this. I'm going to say 7-2 or 9-0. What's your pick?
I'm going to go 6-3, and it's going to be leading with the liberal justices, but there will be some liberty-minded justices that will, and I'm sure Ketanji Brown Jackson will dissent regardless.
That's an interesting take. Oh, well, we'll see.
I'll probably be wrong, but I'm just saying. And all
if
jest,
you are, you're only going to be wrong by one vote, I think.
Yeah, that's possible.
It's going to be 7-2 or 9-0. It's going to be fun to watch that case, no question about it. All right, so where else do we want to go today? Let's see. Well, Glocks. I'm going to go to. I want to go back to. Let's go back to Minnesota right now because I did Google gun control earlier today because that's always fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Minnesota's in the news on that. All right.
I was gonna say sometimes you get a good story out of there if you're not looking for gun control, but you still find something.
Yeah, well, Minnesota, they're trying to call special sessions because they want more gun control in Minnesota. Waltz is pushing for more gun control in Minnesota, and I'm not going to sit and say that shocks me. It does not. But I don't know, Minnesota. God, you got so many problems up there, guys. You really, truly do.
They want to disarm the citizens so the Somalis can have their way with their daughters.
Let's not even go there.
Okay.
Thanks. Let's just stay away from that.
I've seen too much of what's going on over in the UK.
Oh, it's awful over there.
Yeah, and they need guns bad in the UK.
Yeah, but Minnesota, look, I'm going to use this as a shameless plug. If you live in Minnesota, you had better be a member of your states' rights group, and you had better be a member of the NRA. Okay? This is incredibly important for you. It really, truly is. In all blue states. If you live in a blue state, you've got to be a member of the National Rifle Association and your states' rights groups. All of them. You've just got to join them. You absolutely have to do that. A gun owners group says it'll sue if St. Paul moves forward with firearms ordinance. They're going to, and they will be sued, and they will lose because it is a violation of state law. And just 2 days ago, the New York Times, of course, the Supreme Court will weigh gun restrictions for drug users. They were a little bit late on that at the Times. I'm not sure why. Pretty interesting stuff. I want to move to Civil War.
All right.
Ooh. This is a good
dun,
one, right?
dun, dun.
Yeah, and let me set this up before the break. This is from a piece called the I Paper. Now, keep this in mind as we go through this conversation. Keep this in the back of your mind. Impartial news, intelligent debate. The I Paper. Impartial news, intelligent debate. Impartial news, intelligent debate.
Okay,
Headline:
pay attention.
Is the U.S. heading for another civil war? America can expect continued pockets of violence and even an armed uprising, but full-blown civil war is another matter, experts say. Now, who are the experts in this case?
Nobody.
The only experts I know about the Civil War are long gone.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that actually fought one,
Yep.
that know a little bit about it, where nearly 700,000 Americans killed each other and another 3, 4, 500,000 wounded.
Well, you know, the experts could be the CIA, since they're very good at causing civil wars in foreign nations.
No, I think the
overthrow
experts
leadership.
now are Democrats, okay? But I want you to, again, this is important. There's a method to my madness. The I paper. Impartial news, intelligent debate.
Let's see how impartial they are.
Take my thunder. Do you have a thunderclap that you can play when you do that? And in fact, you should probably have one of those.
I'll find one.
Find one. I can't believe we haven't had one of those over the year. Is the U.S. heading for another civil war? The column was written by a guy named Andrew Buncombe. I have no idea who Andrew Buncombe is. It's a piece from today. Came out at 11:47 a.m. Eastern time today.
20 seconds.
British filmmaker. He references Alex Garland piece, the movie Civil War, which I saw. I thought was,
Did too?
It was an entertaining movie. I looked at it as entertainment, right?
Yeah, it was okay.
And I forget the
kind of
guy's name in it. You know, he was in Breaking Bad. He's really famous. He's one of those famous people you don't know his name.
Yeah, he's a great actor in Breaking Bad, and he was good.
Yeah, he was
What
really
kind
good.
of an American are you?
He said, I think civil war is just an extension of a situation. That situation is polarization and the lack of limiting forces on polarization. Okay? Is that where we are today? When we come back, we're going to go through some of this with you. Remember, it's called the I paper, Impartial News, Intelligent Debate. We'll be right back to go through it. Up, cameras up. Back at you, boys and girls. This segment is brought to you by Attorneys on Retainer. Get the only self-defense program for gun owners backed by a real law firm, the Attorneys for Freedom. Visit them online at attorneysonretainer.us. Welcome back. Yeah, Attorneys on Retainer, ladies and gentlemen, is probably, I have to be honest with you, I think it's the biggest no-brainer, Greg, we've ever had on the show, honestly. If anything's a no-brainer at all, it's this. If you carry a gun, like I do, why would you not, for $35 a month, have an attorney in your back pocket if you're not anticipating having to use it, but knowing that you might have to? There's a difference. But if you carry a firearm, you already understand that evil is real. You know bad things can happen. You know bad people are out there. Why would you not do that? Think about that. Just have it. It's the biggest no-brainer out there. It's a security blanket unlike any other. And it is $35 a month. And we save you $50 off with the AAR promo code. They've also got a phenomenal case up there right now that they're working on at their website. You need to check it out. Watch the latest video that they have up of this guy that was brandishing or was arrested for a couple felonies for showing a firearm when he was being attacked. And Attorneys on Retainer is on the case. And guess what happens, man? I don't know. Guy's going to walk. I guarantee it. You watch. Because now there's new evidence out that wasn't there before. Why? Because Attorneys on Retainer is on the case. Attorneysonretainer.us, promo code is AAR. Use it. Get off that fence and just do it. Same thing with all of our great partners, ArmedAmericanRadio.com. If you're not carrying a crossbreed holster, you should be. If you're not carrying a car or CZ, any of these guns, you should be. Just check them out. Great group of partners. Centerfire Digital for your business needs. It's all there for you. BudsGunshop.com, BudsGunshop.com. Goat Guns, feed your need with those things. So much fun. Great group of partners. ArmedAmericanRadio.com to see them all and to visit every single one of them. And get yourself some emergency food supplies at Heaven's Harvest. They're the real deal, Clayton and his family. Support these businesses, Patriot Mobile, and join the National Rifle Association. They're all there for you, okay? All right. Remember, impartial, all right? Impartial and intelligent debate. So this Andrew Buncombe, is the U.S. headed towards another civil war? A lot of people have this, we all feel it in our gut. Something's wrong in this country, guys. And I don't think this turns out well. The left, they've lost their marbles completely. They're violent. We know it. They show it every single day. Leadership of the left, just silent, which means complicit. Now, you go back to 1861 through 1865 and the Civil War. We're not going to go through all that, but you had 7,000 Americans killed, 400,000 or 500,000 wounded. Garland's film, it's an entertaining film. Could it happen like that? I don't know. It's a movie. You just never know. But they start talking about Trump sending in the troops, which is a subhead down here. Why? Well, because Trump's president, so that would make sense, okay? Let's dig a little bit deeper. They quote Pritzker here, who is one of the most, how do I say this nicely, Greg? I don't even know how to say it nicely when I talk about this guy. In Illinois, this guy is just vile all the way around. And Pritzker, like the rest, have seized on the fact, and the article points out that the left fears that Trump has, quote unquote, seized on Kirk's killing to justify sending troops into cities such as Chicago, Portland, and perhaps even New York, where he was born. Among the most outspoken has been Pritzker, quoting the Trump administration is following a playbook: cause chaos, create fear and confusion, make it seem like peaceful protesters are a mob by firing gas pellets and tear gas canisters at them. Why? To create the pretext for invoking the Insurrection Act so that he can send the military to our city. Excuse me, wasn't the left pretending that all the violent interactions and murders and, let's go back to the Summer of Love, were mostly peaceful protests? Mm-hmm. The CNN reporter saying it's mostly peaceful with the buildings burning behind him?
Car on fire in the background.
Okay. Fears of an armed uprising. This is where it gets interesting. Remember, impartial and intelligent debate. So Benjamin Jensen, a senior fellow at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, told the iPaper that the definition for a civil war used by modern scholars is a conflict in which at least 1,000 people are killed. He goes on to describe, I don't, okay, so if 900 aren't, they go on to talk about the Whiskey Rebellion. We're going to run out of time. But lowering the temperature, experts said that to lessen the divisions and reduce incidents of violence, it's leftist violence, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, U.S. politicians and the public need to take action. Talking about lowering the rhetoric in the United States, calming down. The left's never going to do that, guys, and they got another 3 years to go with Donald Trump. But it gets even better. How could a civil war shake out? Here's the impartial and intelligent debate. Asked to imagine circumstances in which a violent conflict might take place, Busher said, and I quote, "What would happen if the Republicans were to lose the next election? Would they accept the result and support the process of democratic transition? I hope so. But if they did not, it is not beyond the realms of possibility that decentralized networks of armed actors would seek to mete out violence against their political enemies. Democratic lawmakers, minorities identified as being somehow less American. If such violence were not condemned by senior Republicans, we would be looking at a potential civil war." Oh!
Just the gaslighting.
I am trying to be FCC friendly here.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Let me go back to that. Hold on. What is it? What did I say? Oh, impartial news in it. Yeah, the next civil war is going to start because the Republicans won't accept defeat in an election. As the Democrats have now, as the Democrats have amped up their violent rhetoric, as Schumer stood on the Supreme Court steps and said, we're going to bring, really?
You've reaped the whirlwind.
As Jay Jones has called for putting bullets in Republicans' heads, Charlie Kirk is murdered. The summer of love. Portland is on fire. They don't want you to believe that, but it is. Oh, it's only 1 block, 2 blocks. Okay, so that's acceptable to you? How many blocks does it have to be before it's really on fire? All leftist. All left-wing Antifa. It's all leftist violence.
Careful now. They'll say that the gay nightclub that was shot up years ago that by the Islamists was right-wing terror.
Well, they'll try anything. That's the gaslighting you were talking about. But lo and behold, if the Republicans lose the next election, there's going to be armed conflict. Meanwhile, you have Democrats with some of the most violent rhetoric we've seen in this country since the real Civil War.
That's one.
It says, hold on, let me go back to this. The iPaper, impartial news, intelligent debate. Okay. Yeah. If you're a left-wing wacko, lunatic, hate America, socialist supporting moron, and thank God we just got hit by the hard break. I saved myself, Greg. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Not that you control Father Time or Mother Nature.
But I do lean on the Zoom switch.
But you do lean on the Zoom switch here, and you do control the boards, and I thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, great show today. Always fun to sit and talk with you. We got another one coming to you tomorrow because they don't want us to. That's why we do this, and we're going to do it every single day. But in order to do it every day, we need you to support all of our partners. Please go out of your way to do that. Please join the National Rifle Association. Put this Attorneys on Retainer card in your wallet. AAR is the promo code everywhere. Just use it. Go into the range a lot like I do, barrelbuddy.com. Clean your guns the right way. Use the AAR promo code. You go over there, they're going to show you how you can make money on the product as well. It's super simple to do. Follow us on all the social media. Enjoy your day. Stay safe. I love each and every one of you. See you on the radio tomorrow.
You just filled your prescription for freedom with Mark Walters, presented by the National Rifle Association. The National Rifle Association on the Armed American Radio Network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. I appreciate it very much. And we're going to get up and do it again tomorrow, precisely, as I said, precisely because they don't want us to. That's why we do it. So enjoy your day out there. Stay safe. Hopefully you're having it's a beautiful day where I am. Greg, what's the temperature in Dallas today?
We are in the 80s.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't get close to that today, but it was interesting how we're just at that point where it's cold and wet in the mornings because, cold leaves. It's fall. It is fall. What are you going to do? And by the middle of the day, it gets hot.
Yeah, it's transitioning into fall, and that's what it is. I think we're 82 looking at the temp.
Yeah, well, won't be long. I think the low last night was 46 here, which is, I guess, maybe a little bit low for this time of year. But anyway, we have a lot more to cover for you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. The left will never stop. Believe me, we have more content than we can cover. So I hope you enjoyed the program today as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Enjoy your day. Stay safe. Please subscribe to the Armed American Radio podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Visit us at Facebook. Subscribe, join, whatever you want to do over there. Like us and make sure to get involved. 80,000 plus of you do that. We need more of you. We're trying to take our social media back. Make sure to get us over at Twitter at AAR Mark X, formerly known as Twitter, whatever you want to call it nowadays. And like us over there on Twitter and join and help us. Make sure when you watch the videos and all that stuff that you share it, post it, repost it, and get involved in the conversation. We would appreciate it very much. See you on the radio tomorrow, guys. Enjoy your day. Stay safe.